If you're starting out in calisthenics, the one thing that will restrict your progress the most is injury. But here's the thing, I'm not a physio, so I'm not going to give you a mobility routine that will bulletproof your joints in 5 minutes, because that's not what you need. What you need is to get injured.
Huh?
I know this sounds fucking insane, but I never even worry about injuries anymore because I've experienced them firsthand as an athlete who's been doing calisthenics for 6 years. I'm going to completely alter the perception that you have on injuries, and I'm going to show you key tactics that you can use in your own training and life. And I guarantee you that after this, not only will your calisthenics journey be much quicker, less painful, and more enjoyable, but you cannot wait to get injured. The first thing you need to know about injuries is they're coming, because unless you're naive, you'll realize that injuries will happen whether you're ready for them or not. You might even think that you can outsmart injuries by having the right information. Let me burst that bubble. Knowing doesn't stop doing. You can watch all the fitness FAQs tutorials, but nothing can save you from being an idiot. You can learn about the dangers of bad techniques 1,000 times and forget, but you strain a muscle once and you'll never ignore your form again. Learn it the hard way and you'll never forget. Since you can't avoid them, embrace every injury as a chance to learn something new. Similar to how Toothless losing part of his tail in How to Train Your Dragon forced him to learn trust and teamwork, the result of me breaking my ankle, yeah, I know, ouch, forced me to take a more mature approach in the things that I do, which helped me grow as a person. Think back to something negative in your past. It may be a sports injury, something traumatic or embarrassing. If you had the ability to go back time, would you change things? My answer is no. Every conflict, every setback, every painful lesson has been a building block in shaping who I am today. They weren't just obstacles, they were crucial to my growth. You cannot avoid bad situations, and that's okay. They're teaching moments disguised in pain. As soon as you accept this, then you'll realize that real growth only comes through facing those problems, not avoiding them. Think about your life. How often do you dodge discomfort? Are you stuck in a job that you hate? Did you do this degree because your parents told you to? Or perhaps you want to get in shape, but you convince yourself that you need to watch one more tutorial or you need to wait for the perfect time. You avoid stepping into the unknown because you fear failing publicly, falling short, and facing the pain that comes with growth. When I dropped out of university without telling my parents to pursue the path of being a social media influencer, guess what happened in the first 2 years? I completely failed. I didn't blow up. I was still working in the supermarket. My managers and workmates all knew about my TikTok videos and asked me constantly, have you made any money yet? Fast forward today, and I've left my full-time job and have been coaching guys like you and making content for the past 6 months. What would have happened if I never tried? I would have stayed stuck. The times that I had $2 in my bank account, when I had to move out of home, when I'd post and only get 1,000 views, those are the rites of passage to get stronger, tougher, better. Avoiding problems doesn't protect you, it prevents you. So think hard about the position you're in right now. Are you avoiding the next step in growth because of the pain that it might provide? If so, then listen to my next story. The pinnacle of calisthenics is a strength move called the planche. In the past, whenever I tried learning it, I always ended up injured, whether it was my wrist, shoulder, or bicep. At the time, I saw these injuries as setbacks. Every time I'd been motivated to train planche, an injury would knock me back down to square one like some twisted game of snakes and ladders. The constant setbacks led me to stop training planche, because fuck that shit. It was embarrassing. I'd been training calisthenics for 4 years now and I still couldn't get it. I started blaming everything except myself. It was my height, it was my weight. I focused on other skills like front lever and freestyle dynamics where I saw progress more easily. Slowly, I convinced myself that planche wasn't for me. However, the planche had always been my ultimate goal. The one skill I truly wanted to master. In February 2023, I reached a crossroads and made a decision. I told myself that I would fully commit to planche, no distractions, no excuses, for an entire year. No matter what happened, whether it was a plateau or an injury, I will not deviate from my path until the year was up. That mindset changed everything. For the first time, I started to see progress. My training became more focused, my consistency more disciplined, and my determination stronger than ever. Everything was going great until something happened. 5 months into my challenge, I broke my ankle doing a freestyle trick on the bars. I needed surgery and I left the hospital in a cast. How was I meant to planche now, let alone take a shower or drive a car? The whole thing was honestly very dumb. I built myself up just for everything to be ripped away. But in that moment, quitting wasn't an option. I had made a promise to myself. I chose to push through. You see, the normal person would just spend the next 4 months eating junk food, smoking weed, and playing video games until their bones healed. But because of my mindset, I viewed this injury as a challenge. And the lessons that I learned during that time were invaluable. Doing planche with a cast on was super hard, and just walking home in crutches was more exhausting than a workout. But it taught me the true meaning of resilience. It gave me the mental fortitude to face future plateaus and challenges with no hesitation. In the end, that commitment paid off. Despite all the obstacles, I achieved the planche. And the video that I had of me breaking my ankle has accumulated more than 30 million views on Instagram, which kickstarted my rise to fame. Looking back, those injuries and setbacks weren't barriers, they were building blocks. They tested me, shaped me, and gave me the perspective that I needed to grow, not only as an athlete, but as a person. But let me tell you something else. That growth didn't happen on its own. It wasn't just about my mindset. It was about who I surrounded myself with. If I was living with my parents, this would have been a completely different story. During the hardest days, I needed my housemates. They would crack jokes about sending another trick on the bars with my cast on, made fun of me walking slow, and calling me a cripple. This got me off my ass and helped view the injury as just another challenge to overcome. I wasn't just gonna stay on the couch when all the boys were down at the park. And that's the truth about growth. Your mindset gets shaped by the space that you're in. If you're in an environment of people that treat you like a baby, then you'll believe that too. Your environment is everything. Look at your current mindset, how you view failure, pain, or even an injury. I'll bet it's a reflection of the people around you. Think back to learning how to walk as a toddler. Falling wasn't just allowed, it was expected. And the environment around you, a world full of walkers, gave you no choice but to keep trying until you succeed. If everyone around you crawled on all fours, there was no way that you'll be able to walk. Even if a man swore an oath to a court that he'll never read a book, if you chucked him in the library for the rest of his life, I guarantee you, he will read. And that's exactly what calisthenics can be when you're in the right environment. If you've ever wondered why people in Europe are so much better in calisthenics, it's because so many people there are already at an elite level. Why do you think all these guys in my Discord server are getting planched so fast? Like Cooper, who's 17, getting the full planche even though he's 6 foot tall. Ethan, who's 15, getting full planche after a month of training. And Lance, also getting full planche after joining the server. It's because they've got guys like me to look up to. And these dudes are in competition with each other while absorbing information like a sponge from those that are better than them. That's why they can get planche super quick, whereas it took me 5 years. You can join the server now. The link is down below. I mean, you can apply this to your life as well, right? If your entire household was full of entrepreneurs, then you'll likely be one too. But here are 5 actionable steps that you can do right now. Number 1, redefine injuries as feedback. When you get injured, don't panic. Instead, reflect. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do differently next time? Treat your injuries as part of the process, not a barrier. Every tweak, every ache, and every bruise is a stepping stone towards improvement. Number 2, start where you are, not where you think you should be. Action beats perfection. Stop waiting for the perfect plan or the ideal conditions. Start doing. Begin with small steps and let the problems teach you along the way. Your mistakes will guide you towards mastery faster than endless preparation ever could. Number 3, surround yourself with the right people. You're the average of the 5 people closest to you. Make sure those people normalize growth, celebrate progress, and understand that pain is part of the journey. If you don't have that group, join my Discord. It's full of athletes who are in the trenches with you, who understand the struggle and who celebrate your victories no matter how small. 4, celebrate the struggle. Shift your focus. Don't just celebrate the clean pull-up or the first muscle-up. Celebrate the process it took to get there. The fails, the falls, the discomfort. Each struggle means you're on the path. Progress isn't just about the end result. It's about the journey that built you. And the last tip is commit to the long game. Growth doesn't happen overnight. Injuries heal, skills take time, and resilience is built slowly. Be patient with yourself and enjoy the ride. The work you put in today, even if it feels like a failure, is planting the seeds for tomorrow's success. And here's the truth. Growth isn't about avoiding the fall. It's about rising stronger, wiser, and more determined. Because every time you get back up, you're rewriting your story as someone who refuses to break. And that's the end, guys. Hope you enjoyed this awesome video, and I'll see you next time. So like and subscribe, and my Discord group is down in the link below.